And I just was like, okay, just turn around. So I like grab him, and it's kind of like a couch like this. Like he has like a couch that kind of comes out like this. So he's like on the edge, ass open, and
Girl, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
hey guys, welcome back. I'm Gia Marie.
I'm Vanity.
So I'm just gonna jump right into it.
Yeah.
I know that we have a lot to talk about
You
today.
already met us last week. Like, we're over that.
We're good. We're good. You get it. You know who I am. You know that we're both trans.
Jeez.
What?
Nothing.
Okay,
Go
so
on, then.
this trans fact I thought was pretty interesting. It doesn't really have a lot to do with our conversation today, but it has come up in topics before, so I was like, oh wow. So trans fact is only one person of transness has won an Olympic medal. So it doesn't say whether it's a gold medal or anything, but it says that person is Quinn, who plays football for the Canadian women's team. So she's a trans football player. That's fitting. They won a gold medal with the Canadian team in 2021 and had previously won a bronze medal. No openly trans women have ever won an Olympic medal. Trans people have been able to compete in the Olympics since 2004 when the International Olympic Committee first issued guidelines. Contrary to what some people might believe, trans people are not dominating international sports.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Well, not these days.
No, definitely not these days. But if you were trans. So, as a trans woman, would you want to compete in the Olympics against other biological women?
Like if I was about that life, like if I was about like the athletic life.
If you were like a decathlon athlete.
Decathlon is completely different. Yeah.
I don't know what decathlon means.
I don't think that's athletic.
Okay, well, if you were an athlete.
Yeah, I think if I was competing,
You'd want to?
like, bitch, I'm a woman and I'm going to compete with
Okay,
women.
well, hold on. Would you want to compete against women, or would you want to compete against other trans women?
Ooh, if I would probably want to compete against other trans women.
Right?
Because I think it makes it more like, yeah, bitch.
I'm really that
I'm
girl.
really like that girl.
Yeah, I don't want to compete against you fucking born women. Like, y'all are weak.
Bitches, yeah.
It's not how. I'm so sorry. Not against the women community.
Nothing against the women community.
But I'm saying, like, I think it'd be more challenging for you to compete against trans women versus, regular biological women.
I'm kind of gagged, though, that was Canada?
Yeah, and Canada.
Girl, this bitch is making up countries as we go.
In Canada, she won a gold medal. She was a part of the football team, the girls'
That's
football
hot.
team.
I wish America would get on board. I don't really understand the whole thing behind like where we're at these days with like that. And I don't really get into it, but
yeah,
good for Canada.
Same. I mean, I've had conversations with people before where it was very different. They thought that whatever. We both have different stance on it, but
yeah,
I personally, if I was competing or in the Olympics, I'd want to compete against trans people.
Oh, that would be hot for sure.
Yeah, that would definitely be
trans women. Like, don't get crazy and be like trans men. That's kind of.
Girl, I don't want to compete against a trans man.
That's also like problematic. Why would you put a man with a woman? Like,
because they're both trans.
That's what I'm saying. Like, do you think just because they're trans, they're the same dude?
No.
That's what I'm saying. Like, anyways, my point being,
yes
like,
and no. That's
a woman.
Yeah, true. That's a yes and no answer for sure. What do you have for us today? Let me hear. What do you have?
Well, you guys, last week you got to know me. This week you're gonna get to know why I am me. No, I just kind of I wanted to talk a little bit about, some of the issues that make me, well, in particular, daddy issues.
Daddy issues.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about this because I was kind of gagged. I want to tell you a fun little story really quickly.
Okay.
So, I was with a friend. She was with her little fling or whatever. And I'm the type of bitch that any single time, like, my friends, who they date, kind of matters to me because it kind of lets me know where they stand too, like, with the community across the board.
Yeah, of course. I mean, imagine if, like, her boyfriend didn't like gay people or trans people, and like he was kind of like,
and like really like, how much are you gonna defend me against your man behind closed doors? You're probably not. You know what I mean?
You know what? I'm not even gonna front on you. Like, whenever I was dealing with someone and like they had something negative to say about my friends, it wasn't that I didn't defend my friends, but I was very much like, we're not gonna have this conversation right now. You know, like, don't talk about them like that, and we're not gonna talk about it.
And I guess I could recognize that it's being like a little like, I feel like just like just stopping the conversation, like it's I guess cool because it's like you're not gonna let him.
Yeah, I don't.
But
Wanna...
at the same time, it's like stopping the conversation also isn't doing
just,
anything. You know what I mean?
You're right.
But
right.
I do. Okay, so point being is like I said, it matters, right? So she was with her little fling, and when I met him, the first thing I was talking to him was like, "Are you transphobic?" He's like, "Damn, what's your name?" So I was like, "Are you transphobic? Do you like gay people?" That was my first thing.
That reminds me of when Trump was in office, and one time you came to the dinner table, like it was a family event, and you were like, "Who did y'all vote for?"
Did I do that? I'm gagged. Sometimes I need to tell people.
No, you have to get the right from the beginning.
Well, absolutely. And my thing is like, okay, so I was like, "Are you transphobic?" I was giving him the rundown, right? And he was like, "Hi, what's your name?" Right? And so
this is the first time you've met this.
I met him like the first time. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he really wasn't shit either. But like, so he was like, "Why? Are you trans?" And I was like, I was like, yeah. But then we started talking, and then he had like a sister, and she happened to be like a lesbian. He doesn't really like approve of it that much because he feels like she was trigger warning. She was like essayed, and so he feels like that's the reason why she
is lesbian.
Oh,
that's so unfortunate.
I know, it's ridiculous. And then
it is a harsh truth to realize because. Really quick, when I came out as gay, my mom actually asked me if I had ever been essayed before, and I was like, never.
You know what's kind of gag worthy is that she asked my mom that too.
Did she really?
Yeah.
She asked it about you?
About me. Like when I came out as a gay boy at first, she was like, "Did they touch him?"
Dang.
So the point being about this is that he said this when we're talking about that, and I was obviously questioning, his ethics and his morality and stuff like that. He had mentioned we were talking. He was like, it would be like if he was like, "Are you into older men?" And I was like, "I am." Like, why? What does that matter? And he was like, "Do you have problems with your dad?" And it gagged me. It gagged me because for the first time, I felt like I was seen. No,
yeah.
I was gagged because things that I thought that like didn't like intertwine.
Yeah, it made its connection.
That's the reason why I wanted to talk about daddy issues today. Is because I was like, I guess I never realized something's in my eye. I guess I never realized how much like not having a relationship with like I guess a parent, but more specifically your father, does things to you. Because obviously, like everybody knows, your parents love you different. Like your mom loves you different, your dad loves you different.
For sure.
Really, I never had a father in my life, so I don't really know what that love is like, and that's why I'm like kind of gagged because, like it does show up in other areas of my life.
So what? Okay, if you could give me an example, like what would you say was like a moment where you didn't realize it then, but now you realize it now, where it was like that was an issue I was having because of my daddy issues.
Yeah, I guess like without getting in like too much detail, I think for what really kind of like got me was honestly like I didn't realize that being into older men actually is like it stems from like that issue. And I think the reason why, because all the time I thought that I loved like a wise, mature man, and I do, but like I think I found it more obvious in me. Like I was seeking more than just like
you were seeking more than just like a lover and a partner. You were seeking more of like the protection, like being provided, being taken, being taken care of in the sense of like being protected. Yeah, I see exactly what you're saying.
And I think also too, just I guess like seeking like the feeling of a man to just like stick up for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like to me, I don't know, and I just think I can think of so many things.
Yeah.
Like, I think like I don't trust people because like I have issues with my dad. I feel I just think like I just can't believe how much like that bleeds into your life it does. So that's why I was gagged when he brought that. He was like, "Well, do you have daddy issues?" Bitch, I was like, "Mind your business." I was gagged with it for sure. I actually don't want to get it. I don't even want to go further into detail because it's a real thing for me. And maybe later down the line when you get to know me.
Well, I mean, I definitely have some. I would say I have suffered from daddy issues as well because like I was raised without my father as well. So, but my issues, I don't know, like the whole being into older men stuff, like I feel like I've grown out of that. I don't really date older men these days. I typically talk to guys who are within my age range or whatever. But one thing that I have, and I didn't realize that it was a thing until my friends, y'all, made it, y'all kind of put it in my face that I was like, I want to be able to cook for a man and clean for a man, and I want to do a woman's job of keeping a household and folding his clothes and rubbing his feet and making his dinner. And then when you guys kind of were like, Gigi, like that's not a woman's job, like it was, but that's not what women are for. I think that was a part of me that has those issues where I've never seen my mom do that for my dad, because he was never around. So my mom was never that type of woman. And I think that's kind of, but my godfather and my godparents, they were together to the day they died. So she did all those things for him. So I think that's kind of where that stems from. Is the reason I want that so bad is because I never saw it growing up, really, and not in my household. And I've never done it either. Yeah. So it can be a little toxic for me to think that way of like, that's what a woman's job is supposed to be. Yeah. And I could see why you guys would think that I was like a little psycho for thinking that. Yeah. But it's just because I really want to fulfill that. I feel like that is something that I want to fulfill in my life for a man.
I agree. I think the biggest takeaway is like voids are very real. And trying to fill them with like, I guess just trying to fill those things with like things that just don't even like coincide is one, really toxic, and two, it's dangerous. Yeah. I know thank God that he gagged me like that, because I think if he didn't gag me like that, I would still be on this road. And then later down the line when I'm like fucking 50 and I'm like, why is like my love life piece of shit? Yeah, babe, that's what you're trying to fill things that don't make sense. So then maybe how do you talk to your father?
How do you, well, how could you? I mean, I
didn't say I was.
My dad is dead.
He's dead to me?
Yeah. Well, true. Well, I hate that for you.
That's alright, babes. Like you said, therapy.
Yeah, therapy is for sure one of the things. Well, I have something that I want to talk about that's a little more lighthearted. Okay.
Top activities.
Wait, what? Wait, what?
So, I feel like within... It's kind of taboo. It's kind of small taboo within our community when trans women they are indulging themselves in top activities. And for those of you who don't know what top activities are,
let's give them.
It is obviously when you are the top, when you are deciding to fuck or have sex with the bottom, and you're the one who is penetrating the bottom, right? So trans women do it too.
No, I know. Yeah.
And it's they have a slang for it. It's they like to ask guys, "Do you like having titties on your back?"
What the fuck? I would never tell that to anybody.
It's a real thing. So I wanted to bring this topic up because I'm obviously a bottom, right? Mm-hmm. And I have indulged in top activities before, but it's this really crazy feeling I get afterwards where it almost feels a little shameful. Like you feel a little bit ashamed. You feel like you did something wrong. Like I shouldn't have done that, but it was
I know exactly what you mean. Okay, before we get into that, what exactly distinguishes top activity? Like what makes a top? Obviously, putting a penis inside a hole, right, makes it a top. So what else? Is that the only thing that makes it a top? Would you consider other things that make it top?
What would you consider it? Because that's what I consider it to be a top.
Me
just
too.
You putting your penis inside someone else.
Me too. That's why I leave it. But I know some people also associate like getting head with top.
With what?
Butthole activity.
Butthole activity.
Meaning, give it to us.
Who put a tongue in a butt?
Okay, that's my point.
Oh wait,
like,
okay, so
it's like getting head, also like eating ass. Like, is that top activity?
I wouldn't consider it.
I don't either, but I know some people do. Some people are really black and white, which I'm surprised you don't consider that.
I don't consider it top activity because I feel like it goes back and forth. Although me personally, I don't indulge in like men giving me oral unless it is eating my ass. I don't do that. I don't let them do that. I don't even let them touch me like that.
Wow.
No, unless they're they can only do ass play with me, and that's it. We can't play with anything else.
Yeah. You guys don't sword fight? No. I hate when they say that. Dude, these guys are so disgusting, especially guys who are like chasers. Yeah. Like I hate when they say that, or they be like, I would suck your she stick if you.
Ew, not your she stick.
Things like that, babe. Just be a fucking person.
I've heard the term sheeness.
Sheeness, she stick. They say like at one time this guy called it a pogo, like just weird.
Stop, guys.
Shiwi.
It's just trash to me.
Yeah. So, but I did have, like I said, I've had some experience with top activities before, right?
Fill us in. We have 6
So
minutes.
one time it was I had met this guy. We got each other's Snapchats. Now I'm really into short kings. I'm not gonna like I don't count those. I don't count them out. I love short men. Sometimes they're
girls?
really. I was gonna say those girls. I don't count them out. So I met this guy, whatever. Exchanged Snapchats. Man, a couple days later, we're like snapping, and then he's like, "Come over to my house like after work." And I'm thinking in my mind like, oh, "Okay, I'm a S a little D, you know." So I'm here for it. But when I got there, he was like, "No, let's like have sex." And I was like, "Oh, baby, I just got off of work. I'm not prepared. Like that can't happen." So then he was like so eager to have sex. He was like, "Okay, well, why don't you top me?" And at first I was like, "No, I'm not into that." But I'm not gonna lie, babe.
No,
So
babe,
it was getting so
accent.
hot in there. Like I was getting like so just hot and bothered. And I just was like, okay, just turn around. So I like grab him, and it's kind of like a couch like this. Like he has like a couch that kind of comes out like this. So he's like on the edge, ass open, and in my mind I'm just like, okay, but I'm totally focused in this at this point, because now I'm like horny.
Are you like biting your lip?
Dude, so cringe. I was like pulling his hair. I was doing the most. So yeah, we get into it. I start doing my thing. Whatever. Again, I'm not equipped with topping like that. So I come really fast, especially in that situation. Mm-hmm. So it was like a few pumps, and then I came, and I actually like I bred him. Y'all know what that means. Why did everything get quiet? So hold on, that's a funnier story. So anyways, I do that, and immediately once I come, I had post nut clarity, so everything just became more clear to me, and I was like, what am I doing? So I hurry up and pull myself together.
You didn't even wipe?
I ran to the restroom.
Oh, okay.
I ran to the restroom and I cleaned myself off. And immediately as I walked out, he asked me hey, where did you, come? And I'm like, inside you. I was like, inside you. And he was like, oh my God, you came inside me. What? He kind of freaked out a little bit. And I was like, look, chill out, calm down. I'm clean, you're clean. We're good. Just calm down. It's nothing. Just go wipe yourself off. You'll be fine. I do this all the time.
Because it's
not
so
that,
normal.
but I've had any point being.
I'm starting to get flustered.
So my thing was, so he was like, okay, gonna go clean himself off, and then he wanted to come back and just hang out and chill, right? But I, again, remember those feelings I was telling you, I was feeling so shameful. I was just feeling super fish out of water. This is not normal territory for me. So I was like, I'm gonna leave. And he was like, no, hang out with me. Just let's hang out and hang out. And I was like, no, I'm leaving. And I left, and I just
Let's hang out. What were y'all supposed to do?
He just wanted to hang out and chill and talk, maybe probably fuck again or something. But I didn't want to do that. I was like, I'm gonna leave. And so I ended up leaving, and he hit me up a couple times after that, but I never hit him back because I was I guess I was embarrassed. Maybe I was embarrassed that I did that. But it was just such in the moment. I couldn't control myself then. And then it wasn't until afterwards where I was like, what did I do?
What is the name of that feeling? Because I think that's a real thing. Where you kind of where you shouldn't do something, or maybe not shouldn't, but
you don't doing something.
You don't want to do something, but the feeling is just so intense that you choose to just indulge in it.
Well,
what is that? Is that gluttony? Because that's also a sin.
I don't know. I thought gluttony had to do with food. Eating, overeating.
No,
that's gluttony. I don't know, but if you guys know that feeling, put it in the comments because I don't know what it is. I would say shame and embarrassment is what I probably felt.
Yeah, no, but I don't think that's what I mean.
That's how I felt, and that was the one time that I indulged in top activities.
Child, you ain't gonna get that out of me today, so we can actually just cut it out.
Wow. Well, I mean, my thing is, it is normal for trans girls to want to do that. I just I'm not that type of.
I
trans
just think
girl.
I think people just need to have sex. Like it's time to let go of what, just because you're a trans girl doesn't mean you have to just assume the bottom position. I think sex should be explorational, and I think it shouldn't be so tied to society's norms.
What if you met the finest man and he's super hot, everything, he's checking off all the boxes, right? And then we get down to it and he's like, you fuck me.
Oh my god, I'm gonna have to say no.
Really?
No, I probably
You're gonna
would do
pass?
it. No, I probably would do it. I don't really consider myself top or bottom these days. I'm not really into it. I would probably, there's a new word. Is it new? I don't know. I was born in 98. Side, right?
It's called
new,
side?
isn't it? Yeah.
What does that mean?
Where
You
you just
don't participate in any penetration.
yeah, it's just oral and stuff.
It's like foreplay.
I feel like that's I'm just really into that.
Wow.
Yeah,
side.
I'm not really
You've never seen that?
No, I've never seen that.
The more you know, kids.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the more you know. Side.
It's not really for me.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'd rather be penetrated. And you know what's crazy? I'd rather. I do like giving head, but I want to feel penetration.
Yeah,
as well.
I'm pretty sure. Hopefully down the line it'll change if I have a husband or something. But
Hopefully.
if it doesn't, what am I supposed to do, girl?
I don't know. I mean,
I guess therapy is really the theme of this episode.
Therapy. You need therapy, love.
Therapy.
We need therapy.
And just like him, you got me. Is Astrofact up next?
Yes, it is. So
Okay, period.
we're gonna have your zodiac reading now.
Yeah. I'm gonna do this. Okay, so last week we talked about Mercury retrograde. This week we're gonna focus on the month, and so
Okay.
we're in the month of September, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we're in the month of September, and
We sure are.
yeah, as you lot know, the end of August, the beginning of September marks. So every month, it splits between the zodiac. So remember, I told you there's 30 degrees between each zodiac, each constellation.
Yeah.
So, the month splits the zodiac. So the end of August, the beginning of September is Virgo. The end of September, beginning of October is Libra. Now I'm gonna be honest, Libra is not really my favorite sign.
Why?
And I'll get there in a second. They're not really my favorite sign. And
we apologize to the Libra community.
no offense to the Libra community. And the gag is that every time I'm like, I fuck with this bitch heavy. I'm like, this bitch is sickening. I'm like, sis, what's your sign? She's like, a Libra. I'm like,
so then why don't you like them?
because my dad. No, true tea. My dad, he's a Libra. He's an October Libra.
Stop! I'm about to start screaming. Stop!
Is that not a real pain?
It is. Continue. Go.
Yeah, no.
No.
It's just I would say this. I will say Virgo. Ew. Libra women tend to be a little bit more better than Libra. I think just men in general are really the
Okay.
problem. But yeah, I think the reason why the breakup to me is so important is because have you ever heard of this thing called cusp?
No.
Okay, so cusp is a real thing out there. People really believe that. The signs break off at the end of everything. So I know the 22nd is the last day for Virgo, and the 23rd of September is the first day that Libra starts.
Okay.
Right? And so sometimes people who are born, so we'll take this month for example. So sometimes people who are born the 21st, the 22nd, or the 23rd, they like to think they're on the cusp of both sides, meaning that they have influence from both sides.
From both ends.
And
which kind of makes
realistically, as far as personality goes, that is a real thing. It's a real thing because your chart it's so much more than just your sun, like we mentioned, right?
Right.
So you have other planets in placements, and a lot of your planets could be in Libra.
But you were born a Virgo.
You were just born. The sun was under Virgo when you were born.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the cusp, I guess this is really my astral fact. The cusp is not a real thing because, like I mentioned, for you bitches who don't believe astrology, it is mathematical and scientifical. It's absolutely 30 degrees away from each other, each sign. Okay. So the sun can't be in the middle of 2 degrees. After 30 goes to 0. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So September 22nd is 30. like at the 30th degree, or really the time for a Virgo. And
Right.
then September 23rd would be the next, would be Libra.
Right.
So cusp is not real. If you bitches feel like you're on the cusp, let it go. Pick one and roll with it.
Okay.
Also, figure out the rest of your chart because that would probably help you in the long run too.
Okay. So, experiences with Virgos versus Libras. Would you say? Would you say you obviously like Virgos
Better more than a Libra, I do.
more than Libra, but you said you do.
Try again.
Can you shut up?
You're saying, but you don't like Libra men.
I feel like, I mean, yeah. Okay, so Libra, they're air signs, right? I'm an earth sign, so earth, that's the element of the sign. So, you just gotta think about it. Like, to me, I'll explain why I really don't kind of like fuck with Libras. It's because a lot of the time their symbol is what's that thing called where it's like
the judgment symbol.
yeah, it's like balance.
Yeah.
Like that balancing. These bitches gonna swear up and down that they're like balanced people. They bring the balance. It's so stereotypical. And to me, y'all are the absolute opposite. These bitches to me are very the type to be. I will give them this before I read y'all down. I will give them this. They are diplomatic. Like I do think that like having a Libra energy in the like room is good because a lot of the times they do weigh out things. I don't think they're necessarily the best at weighing things out, but they do like weigh out the scenario. Meaning, I don't know, say we're robbing a store and they're like, okay y'all, but like remember if you don't have gloves, like whatever you touch, they'll like do it. Like, and that's obvious, right? But I feel like the way that they paint the picture and like they'll paint they'll paint
The outcome.
the outcome.
Okay.
Like I think the way they paint the outcome kind of makes you think the scenario over again.
Okay.
Right. So we love that about them. I love their diplomacy, and I also just think that they stand their ground. Like what's right is right to them, what's wrong is wrong to them. You just can't shake them, and I love that about them.
Yeah.
What I don't like about them is like I think a lot of the times they're like charmers, if that makes sense. And if they get the right bitch, they can do it well.
Yeah, slick.
Like
They have a slick mouth.
They're slick mouth. They're sneaky, and they talk really like to me like they walk on eggshells is their style of talking.
It's giving manipulative.
Yes, manipulative is also a really good word for it. It's to me, it's like, bitch, for me, you ain't never gonna get that with me. Like I see right through it. To me, and it's real snaky.
Yeah,
I just feel like it's like you can't see the snake, but you hear that bit.
So, other than your dad, are there any other Libra men?
Yeah. A Libra man. No.
No.
Just him. Just him. But you know him, kind of.
I do know him.
Do
yeah.
any of those fit?
Yeah, no, I can totally see why. I mean, I'm not gonna bring family matters up, but like, I can totally see why you would say he's like sneaky, manipulative.
Yeah.
Like, he has a slick mouth because obviously, like, when me growing up, I did love your dad. Like, your dad was always such a cool guy, and he was very sweet to our family.
Boo, tomatoes.
But growing up, seeing things on a different perspective, I could see why he was a fucking asshole, and like why he was just not really
and it's really not even on like just him. Like honestly, he can choke, but like it's just like I feel like anytime I come across Libra, I just think they're all the same. I can just tell.
I don't know.
Especially the type to be like, you look so good, but then the first time whenever they try to offend you, and you're a fucking fat ass bitch, and it's like. That's that shit to me. That's that shit to me. I don't really fuck. You know who else is a Libra? Forgot there's a microphone.
Well, I personally have never met enough Libras to have that judgment on them, but I will look out for it. Second, Virgos, I know not a ton of Virgos, but I know a few Virgos actually have very close Virgo friends, and I love Virgos.
Me too.
Although they are a headache sometimes, I think that they tend to take leadership role very serious, or they just tend to take things very serious.
Exactly,
and so it becomes a conversation where it's like, okay, girl, but is it really that deep? Like,
but like, yeah, exactly. Not all of them are that equipped. Let's be honest. Like, that's why I think
the ones I know.
The ones you know, I agree, but not all of them.
Okay.
Like, I just think that's why the rest of your chart matters because, like I said, some Virgos are so evolved in, like, their own self that they make the best task managers, really, really good,
task manager.
Yeah, they make really, really good, like, honestly, they make good best friends because they do know how, their love language is definitely, like, through, I don't know what the
It's the details for me. Like, sometimes they just having... a best friend who is a Virgo, sometimes they come up with the smallest details and like bringing me a bottle of water.
Yeah,
or like just
so
or doing something that I'm like, oh, I didn't.
They're
And
so
he's
caring.
like, oh, well, it's because you said that you wanted it, or you mentioned this, or whatever. I thought this would be fun if we did this, and I'm like, oh wow, they're just
I fuck
so
with them too,
detail oriented.
Yes, it's just sometimes not all of them are like that. A lot of them are really hot messes for sure. Especially like ones born, and we're just gonna keep it honest. The ones born in like
Early September.
But our good sis, you're literally.
I was gonna say,
yeah.
so we're talking all this shit.
But tell me I'm lying though, because this is very Virgo for sure. They're the type of friend that you'll meet them, like you can meet them in the club, and then like once you get to know them, they're like, yeah, that club shit doesn't matter to me. They're kind of very that, are they not?
Yeah, it gives me very that. I'm not gonna lie. I can see that.
They're kind of very that.
It's giving very like, we need to stop drinking. Let's stop drinking. Next week we're drinking.
And that's the other Virgo you got.
No, but there's such a good time. I can see it, but I fucks with Virgo so hard.
Look, y'all, love to both signs, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, we all have every sign in us. It's just Libras. I'm cool on y'all. Like, keep your distance a little bit.
Next time I come across a Libra, I'm gonna pay attention a little bit more.
Yeah, I promise you're gonna be able to notice it. Like, you can just hear the slithers.
So before we go, of course, I want to do is it giving TS or CD?
This is my favorite part of the show, honestly.
Yeah?
I love it.
It's just a fun little game where we show each other photos and we decide whether it's giving TS or CD. And then we're gonna post the photos as well so that you guys can leave your comments and let us know. Is this photo giving you TS or CD?
And this is a safe space, chats. If you're not a trans or cross-dresser person, you could still
you
chime
can.
in.
It could just be an honest opinion. You can just be like,
Just keep it cute.
Okay, now I'm gonna ask you: is this giving TS or CD?
I'm so nervous. I can't take this picture serious because I remember this night. It's definitely CD. It's the hard wig.
It's the hard front.
It's us. The foundation's gray. Was she supposed to be gray?
Yeah, you know who she was playing right there?
No.
She was playing Gabriella from High School Musical.
Stop! I remember this night. I don't remember her being gray though.
Yeah, it did. It's a photo. It looks like that. I don't know.
Right, but she wasn't. She didn't paint gray.
No, she
That's
didn't.
what I'm saying. Yeah, it's just a cross-dresser because a trans girl would know.
So you're definitely saying it's giving you
This is
CD.
giving CD down.
I'm gonna agree with you. It's definitely giving CD. The hard front, the old lady dress, like
Yeah.
CD for sure.
Dude, the old lady dress.
For the pearls.
They didn't anything that's made for a woman put it on. Please, 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 in your most humble, honest opinion, is this giving you TS or CD?
What?
Stop! I have my answer already.
It absolutely is giving me TS.
Me too.
TS.
She's
down.
on her journey. She's brand new.
For sure. It's the natural hair, by the way. This is her natural hair. That's her actual hair that she used back in the day.
Okay, I don't think I met her with hair.
No, when I met her, she used to wear like her top knot. This is my drag mother, so she used to wear her top knot, but she would like straighten her hair because she was transitioning at the time.
Oh my god!
So she did have a moment of transition for a minute. She was living with the guy, and like they were very much like man and wife.
Her name looks like it would be like Alberta, like or something like that.
I actually know her trans name.
What was? Can you tell us? Is that problematic?
I don't think so. People know it.
Okay, tell
her
us.
trans name is Monica.
Oh,
Monica. That was her tranny name. No, for sure TS. It's giving TS. It looks like she is working on it. God, her
Where
forehead
was
is
she
huge.
looking?
Girl, up to the skies, because she just was that girl.
Praying that it was gonna get better one day. I feel like that's a wrap on today.
Yeah, I mean, daddy issues, top activities, Libra and
shit.
Virgos. Obviously, we found out that Libras aren't shit. Libra men aren't shit.
And men in general, really, but we do love.
I mean, what could you do without a man?
I couldn't tell you.
Damn.
I mean, there's plenty of things I do, but babe, I have my needs.
Right, true tea. A man ain't worth shit,
Never that.
but a check and some dick.
Okay, y'all. That's gonna be it for today. Thank you.
That was a bar. That was a bar. I live. Okay, well, we're done here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in this week, and we hope to see you guys next week on what? Girl, shut the fuck up. We actually haven't told each other that.
No, hopefully we do. Otherwise, the name makes no sense.
It does, right? But we will. I promise we will.
I know it'll happen at some point.
Okay, you're gonna catch like a bird in your throat if you keep doing that swallow.
I'm obsessed with it. And bitch, hemorrhoid, really? That's triggering.